Could it be possible that our understanding of ancient history is fundamentally incomplete? What if everything we thought we knew about early human civilization and technology was wrong? We're about to embark on a journey through history to explore the fascinating and perplexing evidence from 25 ancient civilizations that show signs of knowledge far beyond what conventional history tells us they possessed. This isn't just about stones and pottery. It's about intricate craftsmanship, sophisticated understanding of astronomy, and construction methods that confound modern engineers. Prepare to have your perceptions challenged as we uncover the mysteries left behind by these incredible cultures, hinting at advanced capabilities that could rewrite our timeline of human progress. What remarkable feats did they achieve, and what secrets do their ruins still hold? Let's dive in and find out. First on our list, and perhaps one of the most talked about cultures when considering ancient advanced technology, ancient Egypt. Think about the pyramids, not just their immense size, but the astonishing precision of the stonework. We're talking about massive blocks, some weighing many tons, fitted together with a precision that even today's builders would find challenging. The right angles are incredibly accurate, and the surfaces are often perfectly flat. How did they manage this without the cranes, power tools, and lasers we use today? This level of craftsmanship has led to some fascinating and sometimes controversial theories. Some propose they had advanced cutting techniques we haven't rediscovered, perhaps using tools harder than diamonds. Others have even speculated about methods that sound like they belong in science fiction, like using sound frequencies to levitate these enormous stones. Beyond the pyramids, consider the intricate hieroglyphs. Could these carvings hold more than just religious texts and historical records? Some believe they might contain hidden knowledge or even depictions of technology the Egyptians possessed. And what about engineering on a grander scale? The remnants of structures like the ancient Aswan Dam, built thousands of years before conventional engineering practices were supposedly developed, point to a sophisticated understanding of hydraulics, water management, and long-term planning. It raises the question, did their knowledge extend far beyond simply moving heavy stones? Journeying south from Egypt, we encounter another civilization whose achievements feel almost out of place in the timeline, the ancient Maya. When we think of the Maya, we often picture towering pyramids and dense jungles, but their most astonishing feat might be their profound understanding of the cosmos. Imagine tracking the stars and planets with incredible precision without telescopes like ours. The Maya did this. Their calendars weren't just for marking days. They were incredibly complex systems that tracked lunar cycles, solar years, and even the cycles of Venus with startling accuracy. Their calculations for predicting eclipses were so advanced they rivaled and in some ways surpassed the astronomical knowledge in Europe at the same time. How did they achieve this level of sophistication? Their observatories, like the one at Chichen Itza known as El Caracol, were built with alignments that allowed them to precisely track celestial movements. These structures weren't just buildings, they were tools for understanding the universe. Some carvings and texts found at Mayan sites contain symbols and patterns that have led some researchers to propose interpretations hinting at knowledge of concepts like zero, complex mathematics, and perhaps even principles related to physics. It's a tantalizing thought. Could their understanding have gone deeper than we currently recognize? What makes the Maya even more of a mystery is their eventual decline. A civilization with such advanced knowledge of the world around them seemed to abandon their major urban centers. What happened to their incredible astronomical data, their intricate calendars, and their insights into the workings of the sky? The suddenness of their decline, combined with the height of their achievements, leaves us with a profound question. What secrets did they take with them? Moving even further east, we encounter a civilization known for its remarkable urban sophistication, the Indus Valley civilization, which flourished around the same time as ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. Imagine entire cities built with precision like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. These weren't just clusters of homes, they were meticulously planned metropolises laid out on a grid system, a concept we associate more with modern urban design. Think of the level of organization and foresight required to build a city with streets crossing at right angles. But what truly sets the Indus Valley people apart is their incredible grasp of engineering for public health. They had advanced sewage systems and private bathrooms in many homes connected to these underground drains. Plumbing systems, often made of fired brick laid with gypsum mortar, carried waste away from dwelling places. This wasn't just basic sanitation. This was a level of urban hygiene and engineering that wouldn't be seen again in many parts of the world for thousands of years. Consider the uniformity of their construction materials. Bricks found in sites hundreds of miles apart had the same standard size and weight. This suggests a centralized system of measurement and quality control on a massive scale, hinting at a sophisticated administrative structure and possibly a deep understanding of weights and measures. This wasn't accidental. It points to a deliberate, organized approach to building. Despite these advanced urban features, a great mystery remains: their script. It's still undeciphered. If we could finally read their writings, what technological secrets might they reveal? Could they shed light on how they achieved such consistent construction or managed their complex water systems? The Indus Valley stands as a testament to an ancient society with a profound, almost modern, understanding of urban planning and public welfare. From the planned cities of the Indus Valley, let's rewind even further in time to what is often considered the cradle of civilization, ancient Sumer in Mesopotamia. Here, around 5,000 years ago, we see the sparks of innovation that laid the groundwork for much of human history. Imagine a world before written records, before organized counting. The Sumerians changed that landscape forever. They developed cuneiform, one of the earliest known writing systems, pressing wedge-shaped marks into clay tablets. This wasn't just about stories or laws. It was about tracking goods, managing resources, the very foundation of complex society and trade. Think about the wheel, a simple invention with revolutionary impact. The Sumerians are credited with its earliest forms, transforming transportation and pottery making. They also pioneered sophisticated irrigation systems, diverting river water to cultivate crops in the arid land, a crucial step in supporting larger populations and developing urban centers. These are widely accepted achievements, foundational to our understanding of civilization's dawn. However, some interpretations of Sumerian texts and artifacts venture into territory that challenges conventional views. Certain readings of their astronomical records suggest a knowledge of the solar system that seems remarkably detailed for the time, leading some to explore the controversial Anunnaki theories. These theories, popularized by authors like Zecharia Sitchin, propose that the Sumerians received advanced knowledge or even direct influence from extraterrestrial beings, the Anunnaki, whose presence is described in their myths. While mainstream archaeology largely dismisses these claims, the sheer volume and complexity of Sumerian astronomical observations documented in their writings continues to spark debate. Then there's the Sumerian King List, a historical text that lists rulers and their supposedly incredibly long reigns, some extending for thousands of years. While often interpreted symbolically, representing dynasties or perhaps periods of rule rather than individual lifespans, these extraordinary durations have fueled speculation about advanced longevity, different forms of leadership we don't understand, or even a non-human element to their early history. The Sumerians, with their undeniable foundational inventions mixed with the perplexing aspects of their ancient texts, offer a compelling case for rethinking the limits of early human capability. High in the Andes Mountains, a different kind of ancient marvel awaits us, the Incan Empire. When you see sites like Machu Picchu or the fortress of Sacsayhuamán near Cusco, it's the stonework that immediately captures your attention. Imagine fitting together massive stones, some weighing over 100 tons, like pieces of a complex jigsaw puzzle. What's truly astonishing is that these stones aren't neatly cut rectangles. They have irregular shapes, polygons with multiple angles, yet they fit together so perfectly that you often can't even slip a credit card between them. And they did this without mortar. This level of precision in cutting and shaping such huge blocks of granite and other hard stones is mind-boggling. How did they quarry these stones, transport them up steep mountain slopes, and then shape and fit them without iron tools, let alone modern machinery? There are theories involving bronze tools, levers, and armies of workers, but replicating the exact fit and finish remains a challenge even with today's technology. It's led some to wonder if they used methods we don't fully understand, perhaps employing techniques long lost to history. But the Inca weren't just masters of stonework, they were incredible civil engineers. Picture traveling across their vast empire, which stretched thousands of miles along the spine of the Andes. They built an extensive network of roads, some paved, others carved into cliffsides, connecting diverse regions and allowing for rapid communication and movement of goods and troops. And across deep canyons and rushing rivers, they constructed sophisticated suspension bridges using woven fibers, engineering feats that required a deep understanding of tension and structure. These weren't temporary crossings, some were maintained for centuries. Add to this their remarkable agricultural terraces, carved into steep mountainsides, creating flat areas for farming and preventing erosion. These terraces, combined with intricate irrigation systems channeling water from mountain springs, demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of hydrology, soil management, and sustainable agriculture in a challenging environment. The Incas' ability to manipulate their landscape on such a grand scale, with such precision and effectiveness, speaks volumes about a civilization with advanced organizational skills and applied technical knowledge, truly a testament to human ingenuity in the high altitudes. From the rugged mountains of the Andes, let's shift our focus to the cradle of Western thought, ancient Greece. When we think of Greece, images of philosophers like Plato and Socrates or the birth of democracy often come to mind. But there's a remarkable artifact that challenges our conventional view of their technological capabilities, the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered over a century ago in a shipwreck off the coast of a Greek island, this isn't just a piece of ancient metal. It's an incredibly complex device, an analog computer from over 2,000 years ago, designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses with astonishing accuracy decades into the future. Imagine a clockwork of intricate bronze gears, 29 main ones, meticulously crafted and fitted together. Each gear represented celestial cycles, simulating the movements of the sun, moon, and likely several planets across the sky. It was essentially a portable planetarium and calendar combined, a feat of engineering sophistication that researchers are still trying to fully understand and replicate today. Just consider the level of metallurgical knowledge and precision machining required to create these gears and assemble such a device. It suggests a technological understanding that was far more advanced than previously credited to the Hellenistic period. Beyond this famous mechanism, Greek inventors and thinkers explored other fascinating concepts. Think of the inventions of Heron of Alexandria, who described devices powered by steam and automata that performed pre-programmed movements, ideas that seem almost like precursors to mechanical robots. While many of these were likely theoretical or used for theatrical effect rather than practical applications on a large scale, they demonstrate a remarkable grasp of mechanical principles and potential. It makes you wonder what other innovations might have been developed and lost to time. The Antikythera mechanism stands as a powerful reminder that ancient Greece wasn't just about philosophy and politics. It was a place where brilliant minds pushed the boundaries of technological possibility. Crossing the Atlantic once again, we arrive back in the Americas, this time to the Gulf Coast of Mexico and the enigmatic Olmec civilization, look at these colossal stone heads. Imagine carving these immense sculptures, some standing nearly 3 meters tall and weighing 40 tons, out of hard basalt rock. The basalt wasn't quarried locally, it came from sources up to 80 kilometers away. Now picture the challenge of transporting these multi-ton giants through dense jungles and possibly over water, without wheeled vehicles or advanced cranes as far as we know. It is a monumental feat of logistics and engineering that still puzzles researchers today. How did they move them? Theories range from using levers and ropes on log rollers to building canals and floating the heads on rafts. Whichever method or combination they employed, it required incredibly sophisticated planning, coordination, and a massive workforce. These aren't just crude carvings, they are detailed portraits, each with unique features, often depicting individuals wearing elaborate headdresses. What purpose did they serve? Were they portraits of rulers, gods, or important ancestors? Their placement in ceremonial centers suggests they held deep religious or political significance. Beyond the heads, the Olmec were skilled stoneworkers in other ways. They created intricate jade carvings and monumental altars, all requiring a high level of craftsmanship and specialized tools. Their influence spread throughout Mesoamerica, suggesting a society with significant power and organizational capacity. The sheer effort and skill invested in these colossal heads and other stoneworks speak volumes about an advanced civilization with capabilities that seem to defy our current understanding of their technology. What other secrets are hidden beneath the jungles of the Olmec heartland? Let's leave the Americas and journey to an island civilization in the Mediterranean Sea, the Minoans of ancient Crete. Imagine grand palaces, not just simple buildings, but sprawling complexes with multiple stories, intricate layouts, and vibrant frescoes adorning the walls. The Palace of Knossos is the most famous example, a labyrinthine structure that hints at a highly organized and prosperous society that flourished thousands of years ago. What's truly remarkable about these Minoan palaces is what lay beneath the surface, or rather, integrated within their very architecture, sophisticated plumbing and drainage systems. Picture terracotta pipes carrying fresh water to various parts of the palace and channeling waste away. This wasn't just rudimentary sanitation. It involved carefully constructed networks and even flushable toilets in some areas, a level of domestic engineering that was astonishingly advanced for the Bronze Age. They also incorporated light wells and ventilation shafts into their buildings, demonstrating a clever understanding of passive architecture to bring natural light and fresh air into interior spaces. This wasn't just about aesthetics, it points to a deep knowledge of construction principles and creating comfortable living environments, and consider their prowess on the sea. The Minoans were renowned seafarers and traders, dominating the Aegean. While we don't have definitive proof of advanced navigation tools, their ability to establish extensive trade networks and colonies across vast stretches of water suggests a sophisticated understanding of sailing, celestial navigation, and perhaps techniques for charting routes that went beyond simple coastal hopping. Their ships, depicted in their art, appear well-built and capable of long voyages. The evidence from Minoan sites paints a picture of a civilization with a remarkable blend of artistic expression, engineering ingenuity, and maritime skill. When we picture the Romans, we often think of legions marching on perfectly paved roads or the magnificent structures of the Colosseum and sprawling aqueducts bringing water to their cities. We know they were master builders and engineers, but dig a little deeper and you find innovations that were perhaps even more remarkable, some of which we still struggle to fully replicate today. Consider Roman concrete, particularly the formula used in their most enduring structures like the Dome of the Pantheon. This isn't your average concrete. It's a material that has stood the test of time for 2,000 years, even in harsh marine environments where modern concrete often deteriorates relatively quickly. What was their secret? Research into Roman concrete reveals a key ingredient, volcanic ash, specifically from the Vesuvius region, known to the Romans as pozzolana. When mixed with lime and seawater, this volcanic ash created a chemical reaction that produced a concrete that actually grew stronger over time, forming complex mineral structures that bound the material together with incredible resilience. Imagine a building material that heals itself. Modern concrete, while strong initially, is susceptible to cracking and breakdown over centuries, especially when exposed to water. The Roman method, particularly their precise mixing ratios and perhaps unique curing techniques, seems to have unlocked a level of durability that we're still working to fully understand and replicate for long-term infrastructure. Beyond concrete, the Romans were also highly skilled metallurgists. While they mastered working with iron and bronze on a massive scale for tools, weapons, and building components, some evidence suggests they might have possessed knowledge of alloys or metalworking techniques that aren't fully documented or replicated today. Could they have had specific processes for hardening metals or creating unique composites we haven't rediscovered? The sheer quality and longevity of some Roman metal artifacts hint at a level of craftsmanship and material science that went beyond simple blacksmithing. It raises questions about whether some of their metallurgical knowledge has been lost to history, leaving us with a fascinating puzzle about the full extent of their capabilities. From the enduring structures of Rome, we turn our attention east to ancient China, a civilization whose innovations have shaped the world in countless ways. While everyone knows about their inventions like gunpowder and paper, there's another area where the ancient Chinese achieved incredible mastery, one that speaks volumes about their advanced technological understanding, their intricate bronze work. Picture massive ceremonial vessels, some standing taller than a person, or enormous bells, beautifully decorated and perfectly shaped. Creating these wasn't a simple task. It required a profound knowledge of metallurgy, understanding not just how to melt copper and tin, but how to create specific alloys with desired properties, and crucially, how to cast them with astonishing precision into complex forms. The piece mold casting technique they perfected was incredibly sophisticated. Instead of a simple single mold, they would create the mold in multiple sections, often intricately carved. These sections then had to fit together perfectly to ensure the final casting was without flaws or seams. Imagine the skill needed to engineer these molds and then pour molten bronze at just the right temperature to fill every detail. This level of complexity and scale in their bronze casting suggests a highly organized society with skilled artisans, precise measurement systems, and a deep understanding of thermal dynamics. But their ingenuity wasn't limited to artistic or ceremonial objects. Ancient China also saw significant advancements in agricultural technology and irrigation systems. To feed their growing population, they developed sophisticated ways to manage water resources, building canals and irrigation networks that allowed for intensive farming and higher yields. Techniques like the iron plowshare, advancements in seed planting, and crop rotation supported a vast and complex society for millennia. Their ability to sustain large populations and create such exquisite bronze work points to a civilization with a powerful blend of practical engineering and artistic excellence. Venturing to another arid landscape in South America, we encounter the Nazca civilization of Peru, famous for something truly astounding: the Nazca lines. Imagine miles and miles of lines, geometric shapes, and depictions of animals, spiders, hummingbirds, monkeys, all etched into the desert floor on a colossal scale. What makes these geoglyphs so perplexing is their sheer size. Some lines stretch for kilometers, and the animal figures are so large they are best viewed from an elevated position, like the air. But the Nazca people didn't have airplanes or hot air balloons as far as we know. How did they plan and execute these intricate designs with such precision on the ground without an aerial perspective? This is where the idea of advanced knowledge comes into play. Creating designs that look right from high up requires a sophisticated understanding of geometry, scaling, and surveying techniques. Some theories suggest they used grids or scaled-down models on a smaller surface before transferring the designs to the desert floor on a massive scale, likely utilizing ropes and stakes. Others propose they used elevated platforms or observation points on nearby hills to guide their work. Regardless of the exact method, it points to a remarkable level of planning and mathematical skill. The purpose of the lines is equally debated. Were they astronomical alignments marking solstices or the movements of celestial bodies? Many lines point to significant points on the horizon related to the sun or moon. Were they pathways for religious processions leading to sacred sites? Or did they have a ritualistic purpose, perhaps communicating with deities or spirits? Whatever their function, the Nazca lines are a powerful testament to a civilization that possessed an extraordinary ability to manipulate their environment and express complex ideas on an immense scale, leaving behind a riddle etched into the very earth. Journeying south from Egypt across the Red Sea into what is now Ethiopia and Eritrea, we encounter the ancient kingdom of Aksum. Here, rising from the earth like ancient skyscrapers, are the Aksumite stelae. These aren't just monuments, they are colossal obelisk-like structures carved from single pieces of granite. Imagine the sheer effort required to quarry these multi-ton monoliths, some standing taller than a 10-story building and weighing several hundred tons. How did they detach these enormous stones from their bedrock? What tools did they use to carve intricate patterns into their surfaces, mimicking the windows and doors of buildings? The logistical challenges were immense. Picture transporting these giants for miles across uneven terrain. There's no evidence of wheeled vehicles capable of handling such loads in the region at that time. Theories involve complex systems of ropes, rollers, and possibly even temporary canals to float the stones part of the way. But perhaps the most astounding feat was raising them upright. Erecting a stone weighing as much as a Boeing 747 is a challenge even with modern cranes. The Aksumites somehow managed it, likely using a combination of leverage, ramps, and counterweights, a process that demanded incredible engineering knowledge and a massive, coordinated workforce. These stelae weren't just for show, they served as markers for royal tombs, symbols of power and belief. But the sophistication of Aksum wasn't limited to monumental stonework. This kingdom was a major player in ancient international trade, controlling vital routes between Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, and the Indian subcontinent. They developed their own sophisticated currency system, minting gold, silver, and bronze coins, a clear indicator of a complex economic structure and administrative capability. This wasn't a simple tribal society. It was a powerful kingdom with advanced engineering skills and a thriving, organized economy, leaving behind stone monuments that continue to defy easy explanation. From the towering stelae of Aksum, we venture into the heart of the ancient Middle East to the sprawling Persian Empire. While their military prowess is legendary, conquering vast territories, their true technological genius might lie in something far less visible, their mastery of water. In arid regions where rivers were scarce and surface water evaporated quickly, the Persians developed an ingenious system of underground aqueducts called qanats. Imagine a network of hand-dug tunnels sloping gently downwards, sometimes for miles, tapping into underground water sources in the mountains and channeling that vital water to distant villages and fields. Building a qanat was incredibly difficult and dangerous. It required meticulous surveying to ensure the correct, consistent downward slope, avoiding both collapse and stagnation. Vertical shafts were dug at intervals, sometimes every 50 feet, serving as ventilation, access points for maintenance, and a way to remove excavated earth. This wasn't just digging a trench, it was precise underground engineering on a massive scale, a testament to their understanding of hydrology and geology. Maintaining these systems was an ongoing task, requiring a specialized workforce to clear blockages and repair tunnels. Beyond these incredible water systems, the Persians also made significant strides in mathematics and astronomy. Their administrative needs for managing a vast empire spurred advancements in calculation and record-keeping. Their astronomical observations, often influenced by earlier Mesopotamian traditions, were detailed and used for timekeeping, navigation, and potentially for astrological purposes which were significant in their culture. The Persians demonstrate that true power and ingenuity often stem from practical, life-sustaining technologies, and their qanats literally brought life to the desert. Heading east from the Persian qanats, let's travel to Southeast Asia and explore the magnificent Khmer Empire, which flourished between the 9th and 15th centuries. When you visit sites like Angkor, especially the breathtaking Angkor Wat, you're not just seeing stone temples, you're witnessing a civilization that moved mountains, literally, and mastered the flow of water on a monumental scale. Imagine vast temple cities, some of the largest religious complexes ever built, surrounded by intricate moats and connected by an elaborate network of canals and reservoirs. The construction of Angkor Wat alone is mind-boggling. Picture millions of sandstone blocks, some weighing many tons, transported from quarries miles away and then precisely fitted together without mortar. The scale of the labor involved is staggering, requiring not only immense manpower but also sophisticated planning and engineering to lift and position these massive stones with incredible accuracy. But the true genius of the Khmer might lie in their hydraulic engineering. They built a massive system of water management that was essential to their power and prosperity. Giant reservoirs like the Barrays collected monsoon rains, storing water for irrigation during the dry season, allowing them to sustain a large population and grow multiple rice crops a year. This wasn't just digging ponds, it was creating artificial lakes spanning miles, requiring huge earthwork projects and a deep understanding of hydrology to control water flow and prevent flooding. The precise network of canals surrounding the temples served multiple purposes: defense, transport, and aesthetics, creating a reflection of the heavens on earth. The complexity and scale of these water systems suggest a centralized authority with remarkable organizational skills and a level of technical knowledge that allowed them to shape their environment in profound ways. It's a testament to human ingenuity, turning a challenging environment into a thriving empire through sheer scale and sophisticated design. High in the Bolivian Andes, near the shores of Lake Titicaca, lie the ruins of Tiwanaku and the even more mysterious site of Puma Punku. When you look at the stonework here, it's unlike anything you've seen before. Forget the simple blocks of other ancient sites. At Puma Punku, the stone is cut with almost unbelievable precision. Imagine massive granite and diorite blocks, some weighing hundreds of tons, not just stacked but intricately shaped with sharp, clean angles and perfectly flat surfaces. These blocks have precise notches, grooves, and holes drilled into them, as if they were prefabricated components designed to interlock. The H-blocks found here are particularly famous stone pieces carved into complex shapes that look eerily like modern engineering components. Think about the sheer hardness of granite and diorite. Cutting and shaping these stones with such accuracy using only copper or stone tools seems almost impossible. This has led many to speculate about the possibility of advanced tools, perhaps something akin to saws or routers but powered by means we don't understand. Some have even proposed that ultrasonic cutting or other unknown techniques were employed to achieve such intricate details and smooth finishes in such hard material. Consider the challenge of transporting these colossal stones, some quarried miles away, and then lifting and positioning them with such exactitude on a plateau over 12,000 feet high. It's a feat that makes you question the conventional narrative of ancient capabilities. The precise angles and intricate cuts at Puma Punku are a silent testament to a level of craftsmanship and technical skill that continues to baffle engineers and archaeologists alike. leaving us to wonder about the true extent of the Tiwanaku civilization's knowledge. Shifting our gaze back to the Americas, but much earlier than the Inca or Maya, we encounter the Norte Chico civilization along the coast of present-day Peru. Imagine a complex society thriving thousands of years ago, building monumental structures long before many well-known civilizations emerged. What's remarkable about Norte Chico, also known as Carol, is the age of their sophisticated architecture. We're talking about structures dating back as far as 5,000 years, making it one of the oldest known civilizations in the Americas. Their ceremonial centers featured large platform mounds, sunken plazas, and conical structures, all built with a significant level of planning and coordinated labor. One of the most interesting findings at sites like Carol involves their use of woven cotton textiles. While that might not sound revolutionary instantly, the quality and complexity of some of these textiles suggest a highly developed understanding of fiber production, spinning, and weaving techniques thousands of years ago. They cultivated cotton adaptably, understanding its growth cycles and processing it effectively. Beyond textiles, there's intriguing evidence related to sound at their sites. Researchers have found flutes made from bird bones crafted with specific intervals, suggesting an understanding of acoustics and potentially even musical scales in a very early period. Furthermore, the layout and construction of some of their circular plazas or amphitheaters seem to have acoustic properties that would amplify sound, allowing a speaker in the center to be heard by a large crowd gathered around. This hints at more than just random construction. It suggests a deliberate design aimed at specific functional outcomes related to communication or ceremony. The Norte Chico civilization, with its early monumental architecture, sophisticated textiles, and potential grasp of engineering principles related to sound, provides a fascinating glimpse into the unexpected complexity of ancient societies in South America. Let's journey back even further into the depths of Mesopotamian history, bypassing the better-known Sumerians for a moment, and explore the Ubaid period. Flourishing long before written records, starting roughly 7,000 years ago, the Ubaid culture laid the groundwork for much of what would follow in the region. Picture scattered villages gradually growing into larger settlements. What allowed this population growth and shift towards more complex societies? A key factor was their developing mastery over water. In this often arid land, the Ubaid people began to build the earliest forms of complex irrigation systems. We're not talking about vast canals like the later Persians, but sophisticated networks of ditches and channels designed to divert water from the rivers to their fields. This demanded a basic but crucial understanding of topography, water flow, and the organization of labor to dig and maintain these systems collectively. It was fundamental engineering, enabling them to grow surplus crops and support larger, more settled communities. Alongside controlling water, the Ubaid period is also known for its distinctive pottery. While seemingly simple, the production of this pottery involved a growing knowledge of materials. They understood how to select the right clays, how to prepare them, shape them into various forms, and importantly, how to fire them in kilns at high enough temperatures to make them durable. The widespread distribution of similar pottery styles across a large region suggests trade networks and a shared cultural identity. This might seem rudimentary compared to later advancements, but consider the time period before the wheel, before sophisticated metallurgy. The Ubaid advancements in irrigation and pottery represent significant steps in human ingenuity, demonstrating the organizational capacity and practical knowledge needed to transition from scattered, nomadic groups to more settled, complex societies, setting the stage for the rise of the great Mesopotamian civilizations. Leaving the early settlements of the Ubaid, our journey takes us north to the kingdom of Urartu, centered around Lake Van in present-day eastern Anatolia. Imagine a kingdom thriving in a mountainous, rugged landscape. To sustain itself, the Eurasians became masters of manipulating their environment, specifically through incredible hydraulic engineering. Picture a network of irrigation canals and reservoirs, not simply dug into soft earth, but often carved directly into solid rock cliffsides and mountain slopes. This was not easy work. It required immense labor, precise planning, and tools capable of cutting through hard stone. These canals, some stretching for dozens of miles, brought vital water from distant sources to their agricultural lands, allowing for farming in challenging terrain. Their reservoirs, sometimes massive artificial lakes created by sophisticated dam systems, stored water for use during drier periods. The scale and complexity of these water management systems are truly awe-inspiring, demonstrating a deep understanding of civil engineering, surveying, and hydrology. But the Eurasians weren't just about moving water. They were also formidable builders of fortifications. Their cities and fortresses, perched on strategic hills and mountains, were protected by massive stone walls, some built with interlocking blocks similar in concept to later Inca stonework, providing incredible stability without mortar. These defensive structures highlight their military prowess and their ability to organize large-scale construction projects in difficult locations. Furthermore, the Eurasians were skilled metallurgists and metalworkers, producing sophisticated bronze and iron objects, including weapons, tools, and intricate decorative items. Their knowledge of extracting and working with metals contributed to their military strength and economic prosperity. The Urartu kingdom stands as a powerful example of an ancient civilization that conquered a harsh environment through remarkable engineering and a command of materials. Just south of Egypt, along the fertile banks of the Nile in what is now Sudan, lies a civilization that often doesn't get the attention it deserves, the Kingdom of Kush. While everyone knows about the pyramids of Egypt, far fewer are aware of the hundreds, yes hundreds, of pyramids built by the Kushites. These aren't exact replicas of their northern neighbors' massive structures. The Kushite pyramids tend to be steeper and smaller, forming dense necropolises like those at Meroe. But don't let their size fool you. Building even a small pyramid required sophisticated engineering, planning, and a massive coordinated effort to quarry, transport, and lift stone blocks. How did they manage to construct so many of these impressive tombs? Was this a direct transfer of building knowledge from Egypt, with whom the Kushites had a long and complex relationship, including periods of both conflict and rule over Egypt itself? Or did the Kushites develop their pyramid building techniques independently, adapting the concept to their own cultural and architectural styles? Looking closely at the construction, we see distinct methods. The internal structures differ, and the stone cutting and laying techniques, while skilled, show variations from the classic Egyptian style. Yet the core challenge remained the same, moving and placing tons of stone with precision. The sheer scale of their pyramid building activity at sites like Meroe, where over 200 pyramids are clustered together, speaks to a powerful, organized society with the technical know-how and resources to undertake such ambitious construction projects. It pushes us to consider that advanced architectural and engineering capabilities weren't limited to one famous civilization along the Nile, but were present further south as well, perhaps representing a shared regional knowledge base or a fascinating case of independent technological development. Stepping from the sands of Nubia back to the shores of the Aegean, we encounter the Mycenaeans, a civilization that dominated mainland Greece during the late Bronze Age. While their art is stunning, it's their architecture and engineering that truly stand out. Imagine massive stone walls, often called Cyclopean, because ancient Greeks believed only giants could have built them, forming the defenses around their palaces and citadels. These weren't just piled stones, they were expertly fitted, creating formidable fortifications like the Lion Gate at Mycenae itself. But inside these citadels and in their burial sites, we find even more impressive feats of engineering. Consider their tholos tombs, often called beehive tombs. These are monumental circular chambers capped with incredibly high, domed roofs constructed using the corbel arch technique. Picture layers of stone rings, with each successive ring slightly overlapping the one below, gradually narrowing until they meet at the apex. This requires a precise understanding of weight distribution and how to support an enormous stone roof without a central pillar. The engineering needed to shape and lift these heavy stones, position them accurately, and ensure the stability of such a structure is remarkable for the time, around 3,500 years ago. Beyond their monumental buildings, the Mycenaeans also developed early road networks to connect their scattered palatial centers, crucial for trade and moving troops. These weren't paved highways like the Romans would later build, but they were engineered paths, sometimes cut into bedrock or built up with stones, designed to facilitate travel across the rugged Greek landscape. They also possessed significant metalworking skills, producing not only weapons and tools but also incredibly intricate gold artifacts, demonstrating a mastery of smelting, alloying, and detailed craftsmanship. The Mycenaeans, with their cyclopean walls, impressive corbelled tombs, and early infrastructure, show us a Bronze Age society with considerable organizational power and a deep, practical knowledge of architecture and engineering. Moving from the ancient Mediterranean, our journey takes us to southern Africa, to a site that stands as a powerful testament to a sophisticated, indigenous civilization, Great Zimbabwe. Imagine vast stone walls, some reaching over 30 feet high and 15 feet thick, stretching across the landscape, all built without using any mortar. This sprawling complex, covering hundreds of acres, is unlike anything else in sub-Saharan Africa from that period. What's truly remarkable is the sheer scale of the construction and the skill involved in shaping and placing these granite blocks. The walls aren't just piles of rocks, they are carefully constructed, often with dry stone technique, where the stones are fitted together so precisely that the weight of the stones above holds them firmly in place. This requires an intimate understanding of load-bearing, balance, and how to select and shape stones that will interlock effectively. The sheer volume of stone used indicates a large, organized workforce and the ability to quarry, transport, and lift enormous quantities of material. Within the complex, there are distinct areas like the hill complex, the Great Enclosure, and the valley ruins, suggesting different functions and levels of importance. The Great Enclosure, with its massive outer wall and conical tower, remains particularly mysterious. What was its purpose? Was it a royal residence, a religious center, or perhaps both? The precision of the wall construction, particularly the uniform courses and the smooth curves, speaks to a level of architectural planning and execution that challenges colonial-era narratives that dismissed African civilizations as incapable of such feats. The Kingdom of Zimbabwe, which flourished here between the 11th and 15th centuries, controlled vast trade networks stretching across southern Africa, dealing in gold, ivory, and other precious goods. This economic power likely provided the resources and organizational capacity to undertake such massive construction projects. The intricate stonework of Great Zimbabwe is a silent witness to a powerful and technologically capable ancient African kingdom, prompting us to reconsider our understanding of the continent's history and the ingenuity of its people. Leaving the massive stone structures of Africa, let's journey to North America, specifically the Ohio River Valley, and discover the enigmatic Hopewell culture. Picture vast landscapes sculpted by human hands, not with stone but with earth. The Hopewell people, who thrived here roughly 2,000 years ago, were incredible builders of monumental earthworks. We're talking about enormous geometric shapes, perfect circles, squares, octagons, sometimes covering hundreds of acres, all connected by parallel earthen walls that stretch for miles. Imagine the scale of moving that much earth using only baskets and digging sticks. It wasn't just about creating mounds, it was about precision. The geometric forms are remarkably accurate, suggesting a sophisticated understanding of geometry and possibly advanced surveying techniques to lay out these complex patterns over vast distances. How did they achieve such perfect circles and squares on such a scale without modern tools? Some theories involve using ropes and stakes, but the sheer size and accuracy still impress archaeologists. Alongside these geometric wonders, the Hopewell also built striking effigy mounds, earthen sculptures shaped like animals, birds, bears, serpents, often on a massive scale. These weren't just decorative, they likely had deep spiritual or cosmological significance. What's equally fascinating is the evidence of their incredible trade networks. Artifacts found at Hopewell sites: obsidian from the Rocky Mountains, mica from the Appalachians, shells from the Gulf Coast, and copper from the Great Lakes show that they were connected across vast distances. This suggests a highly organized society capable of managing long-distance travel, trade, and the distribution of exotic goods. The Hopewell earthworks are silent monuments to a complex, organized society with impressive engineering skills and connections stretching across the continent. Stepping back across the Atlantic and further into prehistoric Europe, we encounter a remarkable Neolithic culture, the Cucuteni Tripilia culture, which flourished in what is now Ukraine, Moldova, and Romania. Imagine settlements unlike any other in their time, some of the largest in the world for their period, predating the cities of Mesopotamia and Egypt. We're talking about sprawling proto-cities covering hundreds of acres, housing thousands of people, built by communities living over 6,000 years ago. What truly sets them apart is not just the size of their settlements, but their incredible pottery. Picture vessels adorned with intricate, swirling patterns, complex geometric designs, and vibrant colors created using sophisticated painting techniques. This wasn't just simple clay pots, this was high art and perhaps something more. The complexity and precision of these designs suggest a deep understanding of geometry and symmetry, perhaps hinting at a level of mathematical or artistic knowledge that goes beyond mere decoration. Some interpretations even propose that the patterns held symbolic meaning or represented astronomical observations, though this remains debated. One of the most puzzling aspects of the Cucuteni Tripilia culture is their practice of periodically burning down their massive settlements and then rebuilding them, often in the same location. Why would they engage in such a seemingly destructive cycle? Was it a ritualistic cleansing, a way to renew the community? Or did it serve some practical purpose we don't yet understand? This deliberate destruction and renewal on such a large scale is a fascinating mystery, hinting at a unique societal structure and belief system. The Cucuteni Tripilia, with their enormous settlements, exquisite and possibly symbolic pottery, and perplexing cycle of burning and rebuilding, offer a glimpse into a sophisticated and enigmatic culture from ancient Eastern Europe. From the massive earthworks of North America and the proto-cities of Eastern Europe, we arrive at a civilization carved into sandstone cliffs, the Nabateans. Imagine a city not built from the ground up but sculpted directly out of towering rock faces. Their most famous creation, Petra, in what is now Jordan, is a breathtaking example of this, particularly the iconic facade of the treasury known as Al-Kosneh. Think about the incredible skill and precision required to carve this elaborate structure directly into the side of a cliff. How did they work from the top down, creating detailed columns, friezes, and pediments with such accuracy high above the ground? It wasn't just about brute force, it required sophisticated planning, surveying, and scaffolding techniques we don't fully understand for that time period. The intricate details on the facade suggest specialized tools and masterful carving skills to shape the relatively soft sandstone into enduring art. But the Nabateans weren't just artists in stone, they were survival experts in an incredibly arid environment. Consider their brilliant water management systems. They engineered channels, cisterns, and dams to capture every drop of precious rainfall, channeling it through the narrow, thick gorge and distributing it throughout their city. They understood how to prevent flash floods while simultaneously collecting and storing water for their population and their extensive trade caravans. This sophisticated control over water was essential to Petra's existence as a major trade hub. Their ability to thrive in such a challenging landscape, combining monumental rock-cut architecture with life-sustaining water engineering, reveals a civilization possessing a unique blend of artistic vision and practical technological genius. Let's pivot now to Southeast Asia, to the remarkable Dong Sun culture, known for their incredible bronze work, particularly their drums. Picture intricate bronze drums, some quite large, adorned with complex patterns of animals, humans, and geometric designs. These weren't just simple musical instruments, they were powerful symbols, likely used in ceremonies, rituals, and as markers of status and power. Creating these drums required a sophisticated understanding of metallurgy and casting techniques. Consider the level of skill needed to alloy copper and tin precisely, achieve the right temperature for pouring, and then cast these large, often thin-walled objects with such detailed decoration. The decorative patterns weren't just etched onto the surface, they were part of the casting process itself, requiring complex molds, possibly using the lost wax method or a similarly advanced technique. This level of bronze casting is far beyond simple metalworking. It speaks to a mastery of materials and processes. What do these patterns tell us? The depictions on the drums offer glimpses into Dong Sun life, showing people engaged in activities like boat journeys, music, and potentially warfare or rituals. The intricate details on the drums and other bronze artifacts like axes and vessels demonstrate a high level of craftsmanship and artistic expression. The possible symbolism embedded within these designs, though not fully understood, hints at a rich spiritual life and complex belief system. The Dong Sun culture, with their magnificent bronze drums and sophisticated metalworking, shows us a civilization in ancient Southeast Asia that possessed impressive technical skills and a powerful way of expressing their culture through enduring art made of metal. These incredible examples from ancient civilizations raise some fundamental questions, don't they? What does all this evidence of sophisticated engineering, precise astronomy, and advanced craftsmanship really tell us about the history of technology and human potential? It's easy to look at these achievements and wonder, were these isolated flashes of genius, or do they point to a more connected, more capable ancient world than we've been taught? One perspective is that these advancements represent independent innovation. Different cultures facing similar challenges like building large structures or managing water simply found remarkably effective solutions using the materials and knowledge available to them. Think of the parallel developments in pyramid building in Egypt and the Americas, for example. Another key factor is cultural exchange. Ideas, techniques, and even materials traveled along ancient trade routes, allowing knowledge to spread between distant civilizations. The influence of Mesopotamian astronomy on Greek thought, or the vast trade networks of the Roman and Khmer empires, show how connection fostered innovation. However, some of these achievements are so seemingly out of place, so difficult to replicate even now, that they've fueled more controversial theories. Could there have been a lost advanced civilization whose knowledge influenced these later cultures? Or, pushing the boundaries even further, are we seeing evidence of non-terrestrial influence, as some interpretations of ancient texts and artifacts suggest? While these ideas are highly speculative and debated, they highlight just how perplexing some of this evidence truly is. Ultimately, these ancient mysteries encourage us to think critically about the established timelines of technological development. They suggest that human ingenuity has perhaps always been pushing boundaries in unexpected ways, and that our historical narrative might have significant gaps. What else is hidden in the earth, waiting to rewrite our understanding of the past? So, what have we seen on this incredible journey through ancient history? We've explored civilizations that built structures defying gravity, like the precise stone fitting of the Inca and the monumental heads of the Olmec. We've seen cultures that map the stars with astonishing accuracy, like the Maya with their complex calendars and the Greeks with the Antikythera mechanism. We delved into societies that mastered water distribution on a massive scale, from the Roman aqueducts and Persian qanats to the intricate systems of the Khmer and Nabateans. We looked at their sophisticated understanding of materials, evident in the durable concrete of Rome, the exquisite bronze of the Chinese and Dongsun cultures, and the precise stone carving of Tiwanaku and Puma Punku. These examples and many more we touched upon present a compelling picture. Ancient peoples possessed skills, knowledge, and organizational abilities that challenge the simplified narrative of linear technological progress. The sheer ingenuity demonstrated by these cultures is both inspiring and, frankly, a little bit baffling. How did they do it? Was it incredible perseverance and intellect with rudimentary tools? Or did they possess technologies or understanding that we are only now beginning to rediscover or perhaps have entirely forgotten? The mystery surrounding these findings is part of what makes them so fascinating, pushing us to look beyond the textbook accounts and consider alternative possibilities. It reminds us that the past is not a closed book but an ongoing investigation. It's crucial to keep asking questions, to keep examining the evidence with an open mind, and to be willing to challenge what we think we know about human history. This exploration is far from over, and every new discovery adds another piece to this grand, ancient puzzle. What do you think? Were these just remarkable human achievements given the circumstances, or is there something more to the story? Share your thoughts and any other examples of ancient advanced technology you know of in the comments below. If this exploration has sparked your curiosity and made you question the conventional timeline, give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to join us on more journeys into the unexplained and the mysterious corners of history, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the unknown.